I'm Lesley Frank, and I'm an associate professor in sociology here at Acadia University. The topic of infant food insecurity is in an infancy itself, right? So there's not many people studying, and I'm interested in developing this area of research because I feel that it is very urgent and unrecognized and an invisible social problem in Canada. So I'm very interested in how systematic problems of poverty and food insecurity find their way into the bodies of women through breastfeeding outcomes. Breastfeeding is a sustainability issue, but it's not one that people usually think of. So looking at breastfeeding as a food system that is vulnerable like other food systems that require sort of economic and social support to make that food system happen. And then what happens when that system fails. So in terms of food insecurity for infants that are being formula fed when people can't afford to purchase formula. We don't know a lot about formula feeding experiences because we haven't asked the questions. Women that are food insecure use a lot of mixed feeding approaches. They're using whatever approach they can to secure food. Like that is the main focus, is how do we feed every child in this household, including the baby? And the outcomes for formula-fed babies when you can't afford to purchase food, a family that perhaps relies routinely on the food bank, is very troubling for infants in this country. Charity is what people choose to donate, and it can be haphazard, random, or perhaps not at all. It means that women have to forage from one charity source to the other in the pursuit of infant formula that they can safely feed their babies. And often it's just whatever you can get, if you can get anything. Another focus of this project was to really get at the intersectional nature of infant feeding. For example, despite having higher poverty rates, Black women in Canada are more likely to meet breastfeeding recommendations. Why is it that Aboriginal women are the least likely to meet breastfeeding recommendations? We need to ask those questions. Also, women are not the only people that feed babies. This project has specifically looked at, a broader spectrum of caregivers. For example, babies don't always even live with their mothers. They could be fed by foster parents, they're fed by their fathers. What about if a family is a same-sex couple? We need to understand how these eating dynamics actually play out in these different experiences.